Martial arts meets music video in Dead as Disco, a neon-drenched beat-em-up where every punch, kick, and combo syncs to the music. But does this game stay on beat? Let's find out. Hi everybody, my name is Warwick and welcome to Warwick Reviews with a review for Dead as Disco. And I do want to start off by saying a big shout out to developers Brain Jar Games as well as Pirate PR for the review copy. I generally really appreciate that. But also, thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate you stumbling over. I have many videos here, not just on reviews, but also unboxings, previews, and all sorts. But also, you will find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick, and various socials where you may be. But like I said, this is Dead as Disco, so let's begin. So as I said, Dead as Disco is basically a martial arts meets music video game where you play as a character, funny enough, called Charlie Disco, a fallen icon with one chance to reclaim their spotlight from the idols, Charlie's ex-bandmates and musical legends. And basically what the game is, you are confronting these idols, so as I said, it's either ex-bandmates or music legends in various sort of arenas and levels and stuff. You use sort of stylish combat that syncs with every song that's played, and you sort of basically try to survive in a world torn apart by music, fame, and betrayal. Oh my. And that's basically the premise. So you play Charlie Disco, you're dead. You died. You don't know how you died. You think you got betrayed by your bandmates or your ex-bandmates. And so you're trying to sort of reclaim something from you and sort of beat them up and like, hey, what are you guys doing? And with that, you beat these different idols, and each idol that you play, there's 4 currently available when you start, more unlocked later on, but 4 currently that I had, and each one has a different style. So if like Aurora has more like a poppy sort of stuff, where you got sort of more metal with the Prophet and stuff, and so different styles with the different music, it means different styles of playing. So with the play aspect, it's quite an easy thing to pick up. You do have a tutorial when you start off, it brings you into the game of how it works. And if you've played any sort of rhythm games, mainly I would say probably the closest thing to this is Hi-Fi Rush, which is sort of beating up the enemies and stuff through the beat. Very similar concept. So you have the tutorial, how the buttons work and sort of rhythm to it, and you can have sort of settings and stuff. It's quite lenient, so if you want to button mash, it seems to work quite well. I will say with the idols, there are certain levels, so I'm guessing they're harder. They'd be more strict with when you press the buttons, but for what I found, it seems to be quite lenient. And so for I was playing on Xbox style controller, so X, which is sort of just standard attack, and they have different sort of combos or different abilities. So as you see in the screen, either Y or B popped up, and then we'll do special abilities that give more damage. And there's other aspects as well as some extra abilities that will unlock as you go, unlocking sort of a skill tree and more abilities. Basically, you know, sort of the martial arts fighting games that you know and love. And that's basically that. With the sort of main premise of the game is very much a right in your face, in a good way, don't worry. This is a rhythm game, beat 'em ups and stuff. And you see you going through these levels, and sort of like with Aurora, one of the idols, she thinks she's another god now. And so you're fighting, but it's not just one level, it's like multiple levels within that sort of that arena. And with that, different styles come in place. So some are more like over the top, side screen, and sort of the style changes, like the art style, which is fantastic to see. But it's not distracting. It's not distracting. I never felt at any point that I was there's too much going on in the screen. I felt like I was still able to control my character and sort of understand what was going on, even if at times I may have failed. I will say I played on standard for the most part. Can seem quite tricky, especially if you're getting used to it, but I feel like it's not a case that it feels too hard for it to be hard. It feels like it's a good sort of level of learning how the game works. Okay, so this is the rhythm, and getting to that rhythm, sort of like dancing and martial arts. So that's the main bit. You also got this infinite or infinity sort of mode where basically you can pick a song, any song is available to you, and you basically survive until that song's over. So the longer the song, the more you have to survive, and you get points and sort of abilities with that. What's a really great feature is you can actually add your own song, copyright and all that stuff, but you are in theory allowed to sort of upload any song, or basically any MP3 really, so you can actually go absolutely wild. For this example, I uploaded Persona 3, and it works, and you can play the song and it goes with the rhythm. You can fine tune it, so the game does a really good job where it will pick up sort of like the beats, like beats per minute, but you can fine tune things. So if you feel like, oh, actually this song that I've uploaded is actually a 125 beats per minute, you can adjust that and change it and play around with it, and it's really, really cool. And then you got that through that, so that's really nice. So you basically make your own playlist in the game and sort of play to whatever you want to, which is really nice. Outside of that, you have this like hub which sort of connects everything together. So basically it's like this rundown sort of bar disco area. You make this really cool character, and basically things are hard times. I don't know how long you've been dead for, but I'm guessing a while, because you've been away for a while, so it's been a long time. And a nice little feature actually, which I wasn't expecting, you can basically do renovation. So you get skill points and you can use them on many things. So one of the main things is with skill points, you can unlock skills and abilities to have more health, more like combos and stuff. You can also use it for cosmetics of the bar and on yourself as well. So there's some options like you can upgrade like a sofa, put some posters. You can upgrade your character. So I got enough to get like change my hair. This can change your glasses, change your outfit and stuff. And there's a lot which will unlock as you play the game. But I thought it was a nice real feature, and you can sort of see with certain bits in the game where as you start adding more stuff to this bar, actually it shows in the game, which is really, really nice to see. I would like to see more interaction in the bar area. Like there's a couple of drum sets which didn't seem that I could interact with, which was a bit of a shame. Couldn't really sit down anywhere, so I would have liked to be able to sort of sit down in one of the areas, just sort of just let the game sort of just, it was almost like just zoom out and just listen to music. You can play your own music in there, by the way. So as I said, you can play your own music in infinity mode, but you can also play it in the jukebox in the bar, which is quite nice. But I would like to see a bit more to it, and hopefully they do that. I will talk about settings very briefly. So settings aren't bad. I've seen worse, I've seen better. So if you are a long time watcher or seen my stuff before, I like to cover the settings just because it's good to have settings. It's good to be able to make things accessible for as many people to play these games as possible. And rhythm games especially is definitely important because you want to make sure that they play well and people can enjoy it and play these games. But yeah, overall not bad. Like I said, it's definitely not the worst I've seen. I do like that it does tell you what most of the settings are. For the most part, it does explain what things do. So everything like full screen and sort of like, oh, this changes this will be this, this will, if you put this on, it may mean that this will happen. So that's nice. I do like that. There's even like a mode for handheld, which I've not seen before in a Steam game yet. Maybe I've missed it, but it's nice to see because obviously with the Steam Deck, it's nice sort of people like to have an option to be able to play it on that option as well. So having a mode that it will help play on a handheld mode is really cool touch. I really like that. The downside is, as far as I could see, could be wrong, I have been wrong in the past, but as far as I could see, there's no way to adjust the audio for the user. So what I mean by that is with rhythm games, they are very dependent on rhythm. And with people's setups, PCs or consoles and stuff, sometimes there will be latency depending on how they're listening to music. So for example, wireless headphones, even if you use wireless or through Bluetooth or whatever device, there's still always be a latency, even like a microsecond, but still a bit of latency because obviously there has to be a bit of time for that data to get through to you. But with that, it will throw off rhythm games. So I would have really liked to see, and I'm hoping it'll come in the future, or if the devs are listening, please, or tell me where it is because I couldn't find it. They have an option to be able to fine tune, because for me, I play with wireless headphones, but because of that, there is a latency. I'm used to it because I've had these for a couple of years now, but I know with rhythm games, especially like other ones, I have to sort of spend time to get it fine-tuned so it works with like the latency with my setup, and it would have been nice to see that. I don't think it impacts the game really much because of what the game is like. It's a martial art rather than a pure rhythm, like you have to press at the exact time. But I feel like if you want to go like a harder settings where it's going to be more strict on like your parries and sort of dodges and stuff, I feel like that was where it may impact. So hopefully they'll see that in the future. But overall, not bad settings. And yeah, I think I've waffled off enough. What did I think of the game? I absolutely loved it. It's such a fun game. It's really fun. I'm a sucker for rhythm games. I've done a couple, I think. Oh, yeah, I've done a couple on my channel before. And it's really nice to see something a bit different. But also, reminds me of also like Sunset Overdrive or sort of like Jet Set Radio, games like that. It feels like it's new, but also harking back to like the older generation of games where it's a bit more like that. And I felt like there was a lot of love love in this game, a lot of passion from developers, Brain Jar Games. The style's great, the music is fantastic. I did want to point out as well, there was a streamer mode, so there is options to have copyright-free music. Yeah, the music's fantastic. They've done a really great job with the levels and stuff. Because even though you are just fighting against different idols, there's a lot of variety within that, and which is really great to see. And it's wonderful to play. It feels good. It feels inventive, a lot of really cool stuff going on, and it's a game that I want to keep on playing. Like, I had to stop playing the game to record this bit, and I'm just thinking, I want to go back and play this game. I want to unlock more stuff, more abilities, like fine-tune my rhythm and get like it right, because like sometimes, like especially a lot of enemies, like you feel like a bit overwhelmed, but once you get into that rhythm, no pun intended, it just flows and it just feels so good. And with the music, and again with the music as well, they work with the music. It's not just like, oh, here's a beat, okay, let's put something there. Like there's certain elements where like sort of attacks happen, where it's like, oh, the beat changes and they actually adapt to that, and it's just such a great game. It's really fun, and I really hope people check it out. If you like your beat 'em ups, you have a great kick out of this. If you like your rhythm games, I definitely get a kick out of this. And if you like both, I don't think there's anything better in the market today. Especially with this game being in early access, they are going to be listening to people and people's feedback and the community's feedback. So it'd be really great to sort of champion this game, and I'm hoping that they'll listen to my feedback through this review and also players' feedback to make the game as best it can be, because I really want it to see it succeed. And I think there's definitely something here that is really great, and I can't wait to see more. The game is going to be on early access on Steam and Epic Games PC on May 5th, and it's to be determined if it's coming to console, but hopefully, if it does well, it will come to console. So thank you very much for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're doing both, who knows? Or maybe you're watching a video with no sound, which is an interesting way to watch these videos, but I won't complain. Thank you for watching. Big shout out again to Brain Jar Games and Pirate PR for the review copy. We appreciate that. And most of all, thank you for being here. I can't do what I do without you guys, so I really appreciate all the support. A like, a subscribe, a comment, or all of the above would really help. You can check out other reviews on here. I just reviewed recently that Pragmata, Resident Evil 9, as well as other games and other unboxings. Got more coming out soon. But also, you probably might be finding me playing this game on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick. And you probably see me waffling around on whatever social network you may be on. But thank you for watching. Please take care, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.